Michael Montero here with one of the best trainers in the world, Virgil Hunter. Virgil, if you could assess your fighter Andre Berto's performance tonight.
He grew. He grew. I mean, he showed the work that he put in and dedicated himself to really getting the IQ in the sport and understanding what he needs to do. And he followed the plan very well. He wasn't concerned about the early rounds. It was 12 rounds. And I told him, just let the fight come to you. Don't worry about the first one or two. Feeling, start gauging the distance, start using your jab, start closing the distance, and start dropping the punches in there, and he did.
Andre's been lured into brawls before, and Josesito, it looked like he was trying to do that tonight, but Andre stayed smart. Is that something that you just pounded into his head over the years in the gym? Did you finally get it?
Exactly. I told him once somebody starts doing that, what they're telling you is they don't know no other way to beat you. So if he wants to pick you up and sling you around, let him pick you up. That's he using his energy. Don't try to wrestle back with him, just let him pick you up. Simple as that. If he's picking you up, he can't hit you, he's holding you. So let him hold you up. It's no big thing. Just let him fling you around and whisper in his ear, you pick me up all you want to. As soon as you put me down, I'm gonna hit you some more. So he learned that you don't have to tussle with guys. It's not a wrestling match, it's a boxing match. Just take your time. When you start seeing that jab land, you start seeing his face swell up, his punches getting weaker and weaker, then start executing the finishing part of it, and he did that.
Let's talk about your other Andre Ward. He just signed a big deal with Rock Nation Sports. He's been out of the ring for a while. What's next for him? Do you guys have anything in the works? Is there a time frame?
Well, I can't honestly answer that right now because, excuse me, I haven't heard anything. So, but to Andre's credit, you know, he's preparing and staying ready like he always does. So whenever they come up with something for him, he'll be ready to go.
And he's pretty much already cleaned out the super middleweight division. Is the plan to look for maybe one or two fights there to get the rust off and then move up to light heavyweight, or does he want to stay at super middleweight?
Well, it's my personal belief he should stay at super middleweight. I mean, when they say he cleaned out the division, I don't understand that. There's so many 168s in the division, he hasn't even fought yet in the top 10. Now, if you're talking about the guys who were in that division 3 or 4 years ago, there's Abraham, he's still fighting. Crotch, he's still fighting. Kessler, he still wants to fight. If you're talking about those guys, now Alan Green is gone, and some of the other guys have moved up, but there's new blood in the division. You got the Groves, the Gall, you got all these new guys. You got the Durrell brothers. You got a lot of people that you can make some great fights with. So I don't get it when they say he cleaned out a division, you know, like everybody there he beat, because it's simply not true. So, you know, why it's like that, I don't know, but he's definitely not a light heavyweight right now.
Well, let me rephrase that. How about he's cleaned out, he's beat the big names in the division to this point, right? There aren't many big names, at least for the American fans. At light heavyweight, you have guys like Sergey Kovalev, Adonis Stevenson, and then at middleweight, you have Gennady Golokvin, Miguel Cotto. Would you like to lure one of those guys to come up or come down and fight one of the big names, or just stay at super middleweight and continue beating the best there?
Let's hypothetically say he goes up and he beats Kovalev. Now what? Who else is in? You just named two people in the light heavyweight division. It's not a strong division at this point. It's, you know, you got Pascal and people like that. But then what? But then when you go down to super middleweight division, you have even more. Now in the middleweight division, come on, man, Cotto is not going to come up, and K2 has a plan for Golokvin. And, you know, and I admire their plan. They're doing what they're supposed to. They're trying to make him a big name, and they're succeeding in that. And what's the rush? And then that's a fight that, look at this fight happening on May 2nd. Two guys, 30 in their mid-30s, and they're going to make way more money this fight than they would have made 4 or 5 years ago. So you can't predict when these fights are going to go and everything. Yes, he would love to fight Golokvin, but him and Golokvin should be compensated for it. It needs to be more in demand, and not just by fight people, fight fans, press, or anybody else, because they're trying to make a determination that it's not anybody to fight. These fighters should not be penalized for being good, and the rest of them can't hold up to them. They shouldn't be penalized. Why are the good fighters being penalized? And who should be penalized or who should be scrutinized is the ones who are not putting in the work like the top ones do. But if you want the two top ones to fight each other, and then give them an opportunity to cash in on that fight and get the money that they deserve, like Mayweather and Pacquiao. That sets the standard right there. Leonard and Hearns was tried to be rushed at one time, and Dundee put the stopper to it. And they were going to fight the first time for just 6 figures. But when they finally fought, it was way up there in the millions. So, you know, the fighters, this is a business, and the fighters have to cash in. They can't fight just because the fans want to see them fight. They have to fight at the right time when the world want to see them fight. So it'll be worth it to them so they could cash out. So all these years of training, all these years of sacrifice, and you're just going to throw a fight together just because you can, throw a fight at the right time. This one fight really could bring Vegas out of a recession. Please. This one fight, right, takes care of the fighters for life like it should. This one fight helps train, it helps the hot dog, it helps everybody. So the fights have to be done at the right time.
One last question. You mentioned the big fight. Who do you like in that one?
Well, I don't look at the fight as a fan. I look at it as a coach. So it doesn't matter to me because, you know, I do have a kid that I feel could compete with either one of them. So I look at it from that perspective, so it doesn't really matter to me who wins. I just like my kid to get a shot at the winner, or, you know, even the loser. It doesn't matter. So I have to look at it from a different perspective and not as a fan. I admire and respect both men. So whoever wins, congratulations. Whoever loses, congratulations, because their greatness has been established, and you can't ever take that away from them. So, you know, that's a treat for the fans. As far as me being a coach, it's just business as usual.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Virgil Hunter, thank you so much for taking the time. Appreciate it.